Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network hot take. Probably asking Gooch, what the hell's a hot take? Well, it's where we sit in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a game, or a movie. Today, it's a game, and that game is Metro Exodus. Here to discuss a newcomer guest, Christopher Geddes. Full name.
I thought it was hot cakes.
Oh, did you bring cake?
No.
I'm in misconception.
I was expecting
Food.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm out.
Trio.
Here's your hot
There's still time. So, Metro Exodus. Most underrated game of this year is going to be. 100%,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, before we get into the review, you played Last Light in the original, right?
Yeah, I actually just platinumed both of them not too long
There
ago.
we go.
To get myself ready.
He platinums games.
Yeah.
The platinums in those aren't...
Not that. You can chapter select.
You just got to replay them a
Yeah,
bunch.
you can... With the chapter, you can just go back, chapter select. That way it's easier to get back at, like, the diaries and stuff.
Yeah, I did it, like, 2 or 3... Maybe, like, the year the Xbox One came out, I think I did it. And I actually... That's when I played Last Light for the first time, so I played the Redux version of it first. I like the first one. It's 2033, right? Not 4. I always get it. Is it 2033, 4, or 5?
They're all like...
the book is a different name.
Like, Last Light is not based on 2034. 2034 is... The book 2034 is based on a bunch of, like, different characters. And RTM, I think, is mentioned briefly in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I knew it was a book because, like, I like how even in Exodus that you still
see the books are everywhere.
Around.
Yeah, it's like go read the book.
But I like the first one a lot. I think the first one's good. Last Light was kind of iffy for me. And I feel like most people would agree with that.
I'm a fanboy. Sorry. So
no.
I actually really liked Last Light. It doesn't compare to 2033 though. I feel like there's a lot more survival horror aspects in 2033 than there were in Last Light. Last Light I felt was more action packed. You know, there was boss fights in there compared to 2033. There weren't really
boss fights.
Like the
remind me. It's been a while.
The bear in Last Light. You know, when you're out in the field running around. The rhino, like the parent, I guess, the mama of the Nautiluses. When you're underground after the...
yeah. Wow, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Even, like, that game, like, I remember 2033 pretty well. And it was Last Light that I'm like, what the hell even happened? Like, I remember the ending, and I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I had to go back and play, because I totally forgot, too.
So, would you think you need to play the other 2 games to jump into Exodus?
Kind of, if you want to be more attached to the characters in the story, yes. But other than that... You could probably jump into Exodus and be alright.
I think if you really didn't want to play the other games and you went on YouTube and watched a video, not just like the intro of the game kind of like gives you that recap, but nothing in depth, of course. Yeah. Like if you went on YouTube and maybe found like a 10-minute video of the first 2 games plots, and I think you're good. Yeah, I don't think you have to play those other games, especially like I imagine 2033 is. I mean, they're all janky, but like that game's jank is probably real as hell.
Dude. I absolutely hate the melee system in that game.
It's bad.
It's
it's really like rudimentary, and it's just like it seemed just like such a second thought.
Pretty much, they must have added it in super quick because there's no like lock on or like it might be like 1 or 2.
It's just
hit.
so like jelly, like just loose, like you don't even know what's going on. But you know, I think this is the best game in the series. Exodus.
I 100% agree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because like I'm just playing through this, and I'm like. You can tell, like, it's still Metro. It still feels like a AA game, which don't really exist anymore. But, like, you get titles every so often that kind of, like, fill that gap of, like, AA used to be on, like, PS2 and, like, the Xbox and stuff. It has its jank, no doubt.
Absolutely.
It's a fucking weird, buggy, glitchy game sometimes.
The running just gets me. That's
the
only... I'm like, no one's physically running like this. What are we doing?
You feel like you're, like, floating.
Yeah,
like the running, or like you walk really slow, and it feels like you get like clumped up on everything. Like it is janky, but I think it gives the game like a certain charm.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's that Metro charm because it was always like that in all the other games.
And I was just like, if it was like really fucking polished, like I'm not sure if I would have been like yeah, this is like Metro, but like now it's like really good, and like I feel like maybe it's not as true as it was.
This is stupid.
I was gonna say another point to its jankiness. The voice acting is still there. It just feels like a Metro game, and I gotta give 4A games.
4A games.
Yeah, 4A games a lot of credit because like it just feels like a Metro game. It's next gen. It's better. They definitely moved forward, but it's still Metro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The voice acting in Exodus. It's the audio syncing. I think I was talking to someone about this. The audio sync is terrible.
The audio design for that game is shit.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
It's so bad. Like you'll have the train blaring in your ear when you're trying to hear conversations, and there's no like audio slider to like.
I think it's in the first mission when you're in Moscow and you rush the that control room.
Yeah.
And there's like no sound effects for like any of this punching, and I was just like, what? I was like, is this a glitch? And I was just like, okay, it's Metro.
Whatever. I can look over it.
So yeah, where do you want to? I don't think we need to go through each level. What was your favorite level though? Out of there's what, like 6, 7?
Yeah, it's tough. I really like the autumn level where you get the crossbow for the first
taiga,
time.
yeah,
the taiga. But it's between that and the very last level, and when you go back, that really just brings me back to Metro.
Yeah, I like how the game starts and it's like, this is Metro. This is what I remember in Metro. We're in Moscow. We're in the Metro.
Yeah.
And then the next level is like, nope, throw that out the window. We're going bigger, bolder, like no setting you've ever seen in a Metro game. And that's what they do through the whole game. And then the last level, they do bring you back into a Metro that kind of like, puts you back into that like nostalgia mode.
Love the throwback.
I think my favorite level is either the last level Dead City or the first level Volga.
Yeah.
I first level in games are usually the most polished. In Kingdom Hearts 3, it's very much that way.
Mm-hmm.
That first level is usually just like the level that gets the most attention. And then there are we get like 3 levels that are like open world areas, and then Dead City's not really it's Dead City and Yamantau that are like kind of like the on rails like side ones. But I feel like the game does a really good job of having this open world linear style. That did you play Witcher 2?
Very briefly.
Witcher 2 is like very open world linear, just like that. You're in an area for a little while, you can do your stuff, do your quests, the story will take you elsewhere, you can't go back.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of like that because, like, I don't know about you, the open world game fatigue is so real.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I was so, I don't want to say bummed, but to hear that Metro was going to be open world, to an extent, I was like, here it goes. Here we go. But
we're going down that road.
Yeah, go collect this can from 3 different places. So you
go find your fucking watchtower so you can look at more of the map. Well, let's go, Ubisoft.
But it exceeded expectations, I feel.
I agree. Yeah. And I knew from the get-go it wasn't going to get the attention it deserved.
Absolutely.
It reviewed pretty well. I don't think I saw any reviews that were like it's bad.
Unless it might be getting review bombed because it's on Epic and not Steam. That Epic controversy, man, a lot of people were mad because it was like a week before the game came out.
Yeah.
But I think Epic gives the producer or the people who make the game more money than Steam does. It's like 60-40 or something on Epic.
What game that just got announced that's on the Epic Store? It's exclusive to it. I'm trying to think.
Outer World?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like for a year.
Yeah.
Outer World.
So it's just kind of like, not that I think it's a negative thing or like I'm one of those people who think it's a bad thing. I just like, sometimes it's just like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it is kind of weird. Like, not like I think Steam has really gone by the wayside and it is like a cesspool at this point. But I don't think on PC it should be exclusive to a platform when it's not like EA.
Yeah.
I guess we're so used to that, we're cool with it.
Like, you get a PC to escape like, console exclusives and stuff like that. But now there's like exclusives to like Epic Store. Apparently it doesn't have like cloud saves.
It's Epic Game Store is pretty rudimentary. It just plays games and has a friends list and chat, and like that's it. No achievements. Which is huge for me. Like, not that I like as many games as I do play on my PC. Like, I don't really achievement hunt on Steam that hard. Usually it's just Xbox and PS4.
Yeah.
But it's just like like they'll get their shit together, but like I don't know, they're kind of making like big calls for now. But it's just because of the money situation with the 7% that they get, they get, and the devs get everything else. Or no, 30. It's no, not 7%. Maybe it's 30. I forget which way Steam does it and which way Epic does it. But anyway, Epic gives the devs more of a cut.
Yeah,
is why it's so popular. But anyway, yeah, we're talking about levels. The story, what'd you think? I mean, like I feel like it's pretty, it's pretty basic. Like, yeah. I feel Anya and Miller are the only two characters from the last game.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like they're the ones with the story. It's really the story between you three.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the way Anya and Artyom like touch, they're just so touchy feely, and it just it was a little like
between missions.
Yeah, it's just like they're just standing there for like 5 seconds and they're holding hands. I'm like, all right, get on, come on.
It's like all right, you're really talking for a while. It's like you realize I haven't said a word, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's just I really like the story. It's different from the past two where you're open world and stuff like that, but it's different. I feel like it's different.
And there are certain choices that kind of like change the ending. And you got the ending where you're... Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
alert.
Spoiler alert. So the ending where you live.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got the one where you die.
Yeah.
And I don't even understand how, like, so the ones I got were Duke died for me.
Oh.
And I don't understand how Demir didn't come with me because I must have accidentally killed a slave.
Yeah.
And then Alyosha, and like I killed a lot of these people. How did he live?
He didn't get hurt for you at all?
No.
He
died for you?
No, I stealthed through that entire area. Like I made sure that
I saw that was the trophy, and then I kind of just like
I saw that trophy after. I'm like, so pissed. I could have gotten it, but you get detected so easily in that game.
Did you play on...
I played on normal. I didn't go through Ranger Hardcore.
I played on Ranger Hardcore. And yeah, that level's really hard on the difficulty. Like, it's... You get detected really easily. And like, that difficulty is not that bad. It is really intensive where like, you need to be picking up resources and stuff like... heavily and looking around, but you get so little from what you're finding and you can't see what you're finding. So when you loot a body, so I'm going through on I guess normal or whatever, and I'm seeing the UI that I didn't see when I played originally. So when you loot a corpse on Ranger Hardcore, you don't see what you get.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I'm pretty much, I have to look at my menu about how much ammo I have, which is fine. I kind of didn't mind it. And I didn't know if I was picking up metal or chemicals. Like, I was just like, how I'd find out was, oh, now I'm at the workstation. Okay, that's how much I have. Not that it was anything bothersome, or it was like I'm in the field and I'm like, holy shit, how much resources do I have? Like, it didn't really, like, matter to me at all. But, yeah, and I was just like, oh, wow, now I can see how much ammo I'm picking up. Wow. and you don't have a reticle, but, like, if you play the other Metro games on the hardest difficulty, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like it's really, it wasn't that difficult. And sometimes Trio can tell you that I've played games on the hardest difficulty and it's ruined the game for me. Dishonored 2 is one of them where I tried to go like total stealth, hardest difficulty, no alerts, and it like killed the game for me. Because it was just like too hard, and I would get like just too annoyed.
Like incredibly hard, actually.
Yeah,
wow.
That game's... Have you played Dishonored 2?
I about halfway through the first one. Like I just recently re-downloaded it.
I think the first one's better just because of that. But I looked back on it and I'm just like, and guess what? I fucked it up because some random dude died because of some stupid fucking thing.
I think I found out what that was, by the way. I had the same thing happen. I went through and did it again. Apparently, like it's leaving people on elevators or something.
If you leave a dude on an elevator and like it moves, it kills him.
What?
Yeah. So like you're leaving corpses around for like a long time as you're going through that level, and like shit just happens to them, and it like voids your achievements. It's like,
yeah. And
then you find that out after you beat the level, and you're like, dude, I didn't kill anyone. But I didn't have that with this game. Actually, the achievements are pretty easy. You should be able to do it in 2 playthroughs and then get both the endings. But yeah, what did you think about the ending?
It was good. The send off to Does Miller die?
Yes.
Okay.
Miller, I guess
so
Miller, I kind of assumed Miller always died.
Yeah, it was a good send off. I want to see if they are going to make a sequel. It's kind of setting it up because now Artyom's the commander of the Rangers or whatever they are. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from it.
I think they could. So with the first one, they made like the good ending canon, and I guess they would have to do the same with this one because you die in one, and obviously you can't have a sequel if you're dead. But do I want a sequel? I don't really know if I need it. I don't think I wanted a Metro 3.
Yeah, I agree. And then it just showed up, and I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah, like that. I think we saw it at E3 2017 for the first time, and I was just like, wow. I was like, okay, I'm impressed. Like the game looks great. It plays like pretty well, as good as a janky game is gonna play. Like again, it is fucking super janky.
Super janky.
Like
just so clunky.
Don't jump into this game and expect a AAA just clean experience.
One thing I do want to say that didn't bug me, but and you said this like, why'd you buy the game on a whim? And I saw the trailers and I was like, this looks good. This looks awesome. It looked a bit less janky to me in some of the trailers that we got. And that's why I guess when I went into it, not that it even really bugged me that much. It's just like I was like, oh, this isn't as smooth, I guess, as I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how we're talking about the gameplay of the game and the mechanics. I like how they kind of make you do stealth, but even if you do get caught, it doesn't matter. I like that because sometimes with stealth games, you get so caught up in trying to do stealth. That's like, if you get caught, you pause, reload the save.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
me. That's me too. But
Yeah.
I felt like sometimes there was no achievement tying me to doing a full stealth playthrough.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I got caught, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. And I actually made the game more fun because I think with Dishonored, doing that every time I got caught made me just it just soured it for me. But with Metro, I feel like I was doing that less. Sometimes I'd be like, oh fuck, first guy, all right, I want to go a little longer before I get caught here.
Yeah.
Where there's just way too many dudes. How'd you feel about the expansion of all the weapons? Because I enjoyed that.
Dude, to be honest, I really didn't use the crafting stuff much at all.
Really?
Yeah, I made bullets, I made cans, and I made I made the decoy cans. Yeah. And I made the filters and the health kits. Periodically, I would be like, oh, I had this red dot. I would change that from the ACOG because I had so much trouble finding a sensitivity. In my early playthrough, I would just move my stick slightly and I'd go like this, trying to hit those zombies. I hate those zombies, by the way.
What are they called? Humanimals?
Yeah, humanimals.
Goofy ass name.
Annoying ass things. Because you would try to go for the head and then they would duck and crawl and I'm like, these fuckers, man. But yeah, I didn't really use it.
Interesting, because I was constantly. Once I figured out even if you put a gun down, you have to pick the attachments back up, and once I was figuring that out, my guns were fucking pimped out.
Yeah, I the only gun I really pimped out was the T-Har.
Because I guess whatever his name is, the guy who does your weapons and shit, he just. Oh, here's another thing.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Just kept giving me stuff, and I'm like, okay. And I really only kept that. I think it was you could carry 2 guns. Was it 2 guns?
Yeah. I like how they make you carry the TR in this game. In the other games, the pneumatic weapons were just kind of a weapon type.
Yeah, and I never really used them in the last one. It was always a silenced AK and whatever else I could find.
Yeah.
Or the shotgun. I really like the singlet, the single shot shotgun. That was my favorite weapon in Last Light, and I'm glad that they brought it back.
Yeah. So the bullpup is it bullpup or bulldog? I know it's the gun is called a bullpup.
I think it's the bull. I think it's a bulldog. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think it's called a bulldog. That was new. I think.
I'm pretty sure that was new.
And then the sniper. I don't think have we had a sniper in the other.
Yeah, Last Light. Last Light introduced a sniper, like a car 98 almost.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I was I don't remember. I was now that I think about it, I don't think there was a sniper. And then you have the Gatling gun. I feel like there's a lot of guns that they didn't have in the last games, and I was yeah, they definitely improved the arsenal, and even the way you're upgrading yourself, and you can miss a lot of those upgrades.
I missed a lot. I could tell.
I'm doing that achievement, going through the playthrough and finding all of them. They're all in Volga and Caspian. And that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where all the upgrades are in those 2 levels.
Wow.
Yeah. So like once you go past Caspian and
shit out of luck.
Volga, you miss like all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I only got like the bulletproof vest and like an upgrade. I never really used like the upgrade for the mask. Maybe the one that like made it stronger so it wouldn't break as easy. But other than that, I didn't really upgrade either.
So
it's kind of like a minimalist playthrough, you know?
Yeah. So since I was on Ranger Hardcore, I didn't know you could tape your gas mask.
To clean it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like you tape over it. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
It gives you the tutorial to do it when it first happens. I don't see
you don't see the tutorial.
So and I look at this achievement and it's like repair. It's literally like 70% of people like tape their gas masks. I'm like, why don't I have this? And I was like, what the fuck do you do? And then I think I just did it by accident. And I was like, oh, like achievement.
Or in Last Light, the trophy to wipe your gas mask, it was like 20 times. You could just spam it right in the beginning, or maybe it was 2033. You just spam it real quick in the beginning. I was like, all right, easy.
Yeah, and again, I think this game is a great survival horror game. It's still, it maybe not all the levels are super scary in this one, but it still like retains that identity from the original.
Yeah, I agree. 2033 definitely was the more horror aspects. Like there was a lot of jump scares in 2033 compared to this one and Last Light.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go.
So what I was gonna say is, how did you feel about right at the end in Dead City how they bring back like the supernatural element?
Oh,
that they totally just
it was nowhere away. It was nowhere to be found.
Not that I missed it, but I was just like, yeah, I guess they're moving away from the supernatural stuff. I'm like, that's fine because. Like, it's really interesting that a game even has that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like all the stuff starts floating up. And you're
and then I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, the shadows? I'm like, they're bringing this back. I was like,
it's like a tease. It's just a little quick tease, and it's just like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
I really wanted more of that, and I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't much of that in the game.
Yeah, and it was cool that they brought it back with the last level again. Like, it really just
the librarians, too. Like, they were back.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I had no idea that you could just stand still, and they would leave you alone.
Yeah, I got through that level easy without them detecting me for that achievement. Like, I saw it, and I was just like, yeah, this is pretty easy. I was like, yeah, they really weren't much of a pest. But I remember in the first one, they were like a real
they were
pain
annoying.
in the ass.
Yeah.
They were really hard to kill.
Yeah, they were. I remember you had to kill 2 librarians. And there was a spot, I forget exactly what mission it was, but I would just run out of this doorway.
It's like towards the end.
Yeah, I would just run out of this doorway, and they would like sneak under this, when I would come out of the room, they would come out underneath like this hole in the wall, and I would shoot them a couple times, and they would come out and they would just jump right down into a hole and come back up, and I like caught them in a loop, and I was like, all right, this is easy. So I would just run back and forth between this room and outside, and I would just kill them super easy. I almost ran out of all my ammo, but it's ridiculous how much they have.
That happened a lot with Ranger Hardcore. One thing I liked, because it forced me to use other guns, because I ran out of ammo and I had to go scavenge. And I like when games have that like difficulty. It's not too hard, but like they're forcing you to either like really use the arsenal that you have at your disposal, not just like you stick to one gun and you use it and you always have ammo for it and whatever. And I was constantly rotating guns, and then I like how the fact that if the T-Har was not able to craft ammo on the fly, I think it would have been a lot harder.
Absolutely.
Because there were a ton of times where I literally ran out of ammo on all my guns. More so in the beginning that happened.
Exactly. I agree. That was one of my gripes. I kept running out of ammo. I didn't really have any weapons, so, just craft T-Har ammo. But, I ran out of that eventually, and I'm like, I'm doing something wrong. There had to have been something I was doing wrong. And it was my sensitivity. I just kept missing shots.
I don't think I changed my sensitivity. Maybe I did in the beginning and I did it once and I just don't remember. Because I feel like I don't remember messing with it too much. What else? Is there anything?
How about the characters? How did you feel about like all the characters? Like, besides Anya, Miller, and Artyom himself.
I think the crew's pretty cool. You definitely like give a shit about them. It's not like you don't care about all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they did a good job making you care, and like there's some little side quest that you can do for what's the girl's name?
The little girl or like
the little girl.
We have to get her teddy bear, right?
Yeah, and then the guitar for Stefan, and then you give her the water jug. Gyul gives you
Gyul. My favorite character was Sam. Just
because he's Steve Bloom and he's just like
Tom Fortunato.
Yeah. Hey, I'm American.
Can I go with Artyom too?
For a minute, I was just like, what? Is this guy American?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like, we're in Russia. Like, I was just like, and it was Steve Bloom, and it was just like so obvious.
It caught me
it was
off
him.
guard. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, when I first heard it, I was like really confused. And if you go out and listen, like they tell you, what was he like, just a Marine in Russia stationed at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then he had to go underground, and that's where he was stationed.
Interesting. Yeah, it was like very interesting that they decided to include like an American in like an all Russian cast. We were talking about characters. Oh, in Caspian, I like how, and Demir. So Demir and Ghoul, I like how they included like, I don't know where in Russia the Caspian Desert. I know there's a Caspian Sea.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure where in Europe that is, but like they included like Asians. And like and like Demir was like, oh yeah, like I don't know where like any of my family is or like anyone from my race because everyone's fucking Russian.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
And then Ghoul is, you find out they're like the same race, and I was like, that's pretty cool that they decided to include like a different race in Russia and make it very apparent that like they were being enslaved by that group, and like he was like an oil tycoon guy or something. Yeah, I think they did a really good job with kind of at first like teeing you off. It's like, oh, like we got to go to Supreme Command, ha ha ha, JK. Like that's not the story at all, and the plot keeps changing, and it's not really predictable at all.
Yeah,
like where it goes. And honestly, I like the death ending. I thought that was really like kind of good. Like I didn't mind the fact that I died.
I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it, so I kind of want to like get it myself and just watch it myself. So
yeah, have you even started a second playthrough?
No, I've been playing other games.
Yeah, there's a lot of games.
Yeah, a lot of games out right now. So
yeah, and then with Sekiro, is there anything from your list we didn't hit? I don't want to like totally
no, you're good.
Cut you off from it or like forget something from it if we need. I feel like we've definitely talked about the game a decent bit, and we both like it.
Yeah,
but it's obviously not going to get like. Come Game of the Year time, it's probably not going to be on lists or anything. Maybe I guarantee it'll get one nod somewhere, but it won't win the award.
Yeah, maybe the collectibles like the postcards.
I found none of them.
I found maybe 2 or 3,
and I was just like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah,
they're so
so easy to miss.
Yeah, like they're just like on the wall, and then, like items don't get highlighted or anything. So, yeah, like as I'm using the guide, I'm like, holy shit! Like I've walked past like every single one of these.
Yeah, because in the first like 2 previous games, they would like be a little like highlighted. You could see them; they would be a little brighter, so you could pick them up. But this one, dude, you can't see them. Like you have to be really sharp, or else you're gonna walk right by them, as you said. So, the collectibles. What else? The beginning of the game, like we were talking about, when you first start out, was fantastic. Like it was like, oh man, really excited to be back in like the metro and stuff. And then it opens up, and I was like, I feel like I'm playing more of a Stalker game more than
I've never played
Metro.
Stalker.
I played very briefly, like maybe 10 minutes of it on a PC, but it felt really more like a Stalker game than a Metro game. Not saying that's a bad thing, but honestly, if it didn't have the characters, you could have sold this game as a Stalker game, and no one would.
So there's no characters in those games.
And
like,
there's like you have
you're
your
really
own,
just alone.
Kind of. You have like your base, and you're a Stalker. You like work for people. You just work and go out and scavenge stuff, come back. There's some characters in I forget what Stalker game I was looking at or I was playing, but you started off with like this merchant who saved you after you were shot or something. But after that, you're pretty much just alone out in the wilderness by yourself.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that series is pretty popular from what I understand. I'm kind of surprised they never made another game. But I guess one thing we didn't mention is I really like that like Metro is a game of like culture. Like it's a game. 4A isn't Russian devs. They're like maybe they are. I don't know where they're based in Europe somewhere. If you want to Google it real quick.
Yeah.
But like either way, like we're getting like a game based in like a totally different culture, and I think that's really cool. There's not many games that like aren't made by Canadians or Americans that like really
Ukrainian.
Yeah, that really get into like another culture and like really hit it hard. That like like these people aren't like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
exactly.
They're not American. Like they're not just like. I mean, they're white Europeans, but they're just like not Americans. It like as soon as you put the game in, it feels like that. I'm trying to think of what other game I just played that is sort of like that, and I'm trying to peek over here and to see what is it. I remember playing and I was like, oh, that's cool that we play these games like that have like Yakuza is another one, and it's not just like a Japanese game. It's based in like real world Japan, but like
Yeah.
you know, it's like it's something that like an American dev couldn't just throw together.
Yeah.
And like with that style, like Sleeping Dogs is probably your example of like a Yakuza game made by Americans.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Yakuza is like over the top and like wacky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
My buddy played it, and it's just like you could do like karaoke and shit. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like Shenmue, right?
I haven't played it.
Shenmue's kind of like a similar thing. It's like, I mean, you're not like in the you fight like, I guess, like Yakuza or like mob people. That game is fucking hilarious. It's so old and it's so dated that like the voiceover and stuff. I think it was on Dream Genesis. I want to say. I think it was on Sega, and it's just like, ooh, this game's old. But I would say maybe during the summer, if you haven't picked it up already, pick it up. It's definitely worth your time. And I don't think really there's much coming out after, like, I know Days Gone's coming out in April. And
April 26th.
And then Mortal Kombat 11 as well. But after that, I don't think there's anything really coming out.
Yeah, I mean, PAX East is next week. I think it starts the 28th.
Yeah,
really excited.
We're going.
Oh, dude, you guys. I'm really excited for Gearbox.
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, dude, Gearbox.
Yeah, dude, I'm hyped to see
we're
Borderlands
getting
3.
real pumped.
But
Oh,
like,
man.
I think. Do you think Borderlands 3 is gonna be this year?
What else are they going to do? I mean, Borderlands 1 remaster. Other than that, I can't. What else are they going to do?
Oh, no. I mean, like, it's definitely Borderlands 3, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think it's gonna come out this year?
Maybe late 2019, and if barring anything, we'll get a pushback.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll get delayed, but I don't see how they couldn't. I mean, when did Borderlands 2 come out?
I think I was a junior in high school.
It's got to be this year. It has to be.
It's been a while.
It's been way too long.
But yeah, Metro is definitely a game I think definitely worth your time. Maybe not as a bunch of things are coming out, but maybe like in the dead time of summer when games aren't coming out.
It's probably going to go on sale more time, like summer sale and stuff like that. Pick it up.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's definitely worth the $60. But if you can get it on sale, absolutely, like $40, 100%.
I'm sure it's gonna be on sale. I don't know if you like Darksiders 3 has already been on sale a few times.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
that's another game that kind of came out at a really shitty time.
Yeah.
Like when everything else people wanted to play, a game that like maybe like 5 people wanted to play came out. Not that Darksiders is a bad game. I played both of them and I like them. Mm-hmm. It's so overshadowed by everything else.
Yeah.
But I think that about wraps it up from us. You can find us at www.delconernetwork.com, facebook.com/DelcoNerdNetwork, at DelcoNerds on Twitter and Instagram. And Trey, am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, of course, youtube.com, search Delco Nerd Network, you can find us. And in podcast form, iTunes and Google Play. And for Chris, for me, what?
I was going to say, hit that review if you can. We really appreciate it. Reviews on iTunes and all that. They really help us.
I'll say it every podcast I do that do the outro. Trio's just way better than me.
I mean, you do the intro all the time. I do the outro. Just how it works.
Yep. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy your day. Stay nerdy.